Hi friends, thanks for joining me today. Yes, I am filming outside. I just finished the other video of my filming outside, so as you can see I'm in the same location. But this video is about my health stuff that's going on, and I want some of you said you were interested in my food sensitivity test and interested in what was going on with me and all of that. So I wanted to take a minute before we got into the results of the test. I wanted to take a minute and give you a little background on all of that. So a long time ago, I started having issues, but I didn't realize I was having issues. It was one of those things where over the course of time, you start to feel bad, but you don't know what it is. So what happened with me is I was overweight, I was inflamed, but didn't realize that I was inflamed. And so my husband and I, we went on like the Mediterranean diet, and I lost some weight, and I felt better. And just felt better. It was interesting. It wasn't just because of the weight loss, I just felt better. So then, as we do, we fall off the diet wagon, and the weight comes back on. We start eating the way we used to, and I start to feel bad again. And what I mean by bad is I felt brain fog, tired all the time. Again, I was inflamed but didn't realize it. Slower reflexes, just lack of energy, that sort of thing. So we went back on the diet again, and I felt better, like overall. And I thought, that was interesting, but it still didn't click yet for me. So then my dad got sick, and this is 11 years ago, maybe 12, going on 12. And the stress of that, as this can happen, you guys, I don't know if you realize this, but a stressful event can really kick into gear something that's going on with you that you didn't realize, which is what happened to me. The stress brought it so forcefully forward. So it had been going on, but I almost didn't recognize it. But once my dad got sick, and the stress of that kind of forced it in a more powerful way, that it was so noticeable and evident. And so what started happening is I started getting stomach aches. And I've never had stomach issues before. And it was just stomach aches. And after I ate certain things, I literally felt like somebody had kicked me in the stomach. Then we either went back on the diet, and I realized a bunch of things, like how much I felt better, and I didn't have brain fog and this and that, all this kind of started to happen around the same time. And I started to think, well, what's the difference? And I thought, oh, I'm not eating gluten when I'm on this diet. And I thought, that's interesting. So I started to research this. Now this is 11, 12 years ago, like I said. So I started to research it, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go on a gluten-free diet, which back then was a little bit more unusual than it is now. So I'm gonna go on a gluten-free diet. Let me check this situation out and see what happens. Well, let me just tell you, it changed my life. The brain fog was gone. My reflexes are so good now, it's unbelievable. Something falls off the counter, I can catch it like it's no problem. It's actually really fascinating because it's such a difference. My brain is quicker now, which I guess is part of the brain fog. But when we say those words, we're kind of thinking, bad memory, just kind of can't think, all that. But also the reflexes. So that was kind of interesting. Inflammation went down in my body. And I lost 30 pounds, I want to say without even trying. Well, I was not eating gluten, so I guess that's trying, but I was just not eating gluten. I wasn't necessarily trying to lose weight, but 30 pounds just melted off. Some of that was inflammation, and some of that was weight, obviously. So that was great. So, like I said, 11, 12 years, however long that's been. So that's the backstory. Now, fast forward to now. So I noticed when I was training for triathlons 7 years ago, whatever it was, I had to take my training really slowly, and I couldn't figure out why. I didn't understand why I had to go so slowly with it. It took me a much longer time to recuperate than it did other people that I know. And I had to, so longer recuperation periods, and I had to build up my stamina much slower. It was like truly baby steps, and I thought that was really strange. And I could do it, and I did it, which was great, and I was glad that I did it because it was on my bucket list, and I wanted to do a triathlon, and so I did several of them, which was great. But it was weird that my recovery time took so long, and I had to ice like every night, and I didn't know why. I just thought it was normal. So let's fast forward from that to now. Well, when I went back to work after the summer break, because I get a break every summer, it was just incredible how much pain I was in, and just so much pain. I can't even explain it to you. And I just was like, what is wrong with me? You know, there's something wrong with me. Like this is not normal. And I've had to ice my legs. I'm still doing it. I have to ice my feet and my legs every night. It's just been terrible. So I didn't know what was going on. So I'm thinking I might have RA, okay, rheumatoid arthritis. So I'm going to a specialist to try to find out if I have that. In the meantime, I decided I would go ahead and do the food sensitivity test, because maybe I have things in my diet that are causing aggravation. Maybe I have both things, but the food is contributing to it. Also, I know the heat contributes to my fatigue and discomfort, but this has been extreme this year. So I thought, let me do the food sensitivity test. And so we're going to share the results in this video today. The other thing I did was a 3-day intensive arthritis cleanse. And I will tell you, it definitely worked. I noticed that my inflammation decreased, which is wonderful. Now I'm on a 30-day fruits and vegetables, rice and oatmeal deal. Now, I have had some things besides that, but I'm trying to mostly just have fruits, fresh vegetables, oatmeal, and rice. Actually, I haven't had any rice yet, so I need to cook up a pot of rice. Now, I don't eat regular oatmeal. I've been eating non-GMO Irish steel-cut oats, and they do not hurt my stomach, and they are gluten-free. So I've been having those, and no bad effects, no brain fog, no stomach issues, no nothing. So, and I've been eating the fruits and veggies. So I am feeling better than I was, which is wonderful. And the weather is cooler, so I think that's also helping with my legs. So I think I have two positive things going on that are helping, you know, with my body pain. There's that. I wanted to let you know what was going on with that. I will put in this video, I made some fresh juice. I'll show you how I did that. And, you know, so this might be a lengthy video, but if it's interesting to you, there might be some important tidbits for you. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, I did an arthritic cleanse, and I got it out of a book called Healthy Healing, which was written by Dr. Linda Page. And so I started each morning with fresh grapefruit juice, and so I just used this simple little hand, juicer here, poured it into a cup, and then that's how I started my day. Then a little bit later in the day, I made fresh vegetable juice. Now what you see here is my juicer. It is an extremely heavy-duty juicer. You can actually make juice, but you can make peanut butter and all sorts of things with this juicer, but today is juice. So I did this cleanse for 3 days. Now my mid-morning juice after my grapefruit juice, like a couple hours later, I made a carrot, beet, and cucumber juice. And that's what I had earlier in the morning. And then what you see here that I'm making is the juice that I had a little bit later in the day. And it was carrots, cucumber, celery, parsley, and I probably put a little bit of beet in this one too, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, no, I think I only did the beet in the morning. So this juice was very flavorful, but very good and very healthy. Later on in the day, I had a combination of cranberry and black cherry and apple juice, and I also had miso soup. And actually I had miso soup a couple of times a day, and it had a little bit of seaweed in it, and I know that that probably doesn't sound very good to some people, but the seaweed has certain minerals in it that are really, really good for our bodies, and it was recommended to have that on this cleanse. There were more items that I had on the cleanse, but I'm just kind of telling you about, some of it. And also, I shared some of my juices with the kids, Brandon and Amanda and Andrew, and they enjoyed it, which was good because, it's quite flavorful. And if you're not used to that sort of thing, it can be a little bit powerful. But it was quite good. And actually, even since I finished my 3-day cleanse, I've tried to have juice once or twice a week since then because it is so good for us. I'm sorry about the camera movement. I'm actually holding my phone while I'm making the juice. Oh, and I missed a piece of parsley. That's so funny. But anyway, I was holding my phone while I was making the juice. I didn't set up my tripod or anything like that. And so, but here it is. And, it's quite good and quite healthy. And I do recommend juicing because just for, just overall health, it is a wonderful thing to do. Let's go check out the food sensitivity test. All right, friends, this is the test that I took, and I have some information about food sensitivity tests and why sometimes they are not the same. Like, I could take this very same test in 2 weeks from now and might get some different information, and that is because it looks for antibodies. And so if you eat something or you don't eat something, it may or may not show up on the test. I knew that going in, and I was not worried about that. So here we are. We have opened the box. Here are the instructions. I'm going to give those a quick look so that we can get set up and get this thing done. I have washed my hands, and now we're going to go ahead and open up the rest of this kit and see all the goodies inside. I'm going to kind of get it laid out so that everything's just ready to go. All right, so here we are. I am going to use the little cotton pad on my finger. I've never poked my finger myself before, so this is the first time. I have no idea how to use this little tool, and actually ended up fumbling with it a little bit because I wasn't pressing it down hard enough. So you can see I'm looking inside of it. I'm trying to figure out where the heck is the little part that cuts your finger, so I'm just studying it and fooling around with it. But eventually, I put my hand down, and yet you can see I'm trying to figure out how this thing works. So then I was doing it too gently, and so I have to end up, pushing much harder on it. Finally, I did it. Okay, so now I just have to put the blood droplets on the card. Sorry if this is grossing anybody out, but this is the test. This is how you take this particular blood test. So I'm just trying to fill in all the little circles that were on the collection card. All right, I got that all done. It's cleanup time. I'm going to put my little Band-Aid on. Then I'm going to go ahead and fold the card up and get it into the collection bag. Now, I will tell you this. I mailed it, and then I got my results really, really quickly, way faster than I thought I would. I think I got my results within 2 days of them receiving it. So I thought that was pretty great. All right, let's go check out the results and see if there are any surprises. All right, friends, I just put a little washi tape just to cover any, personal information. And now we're going to go ahead and click on view the results. All right, now one thing I want to mention about this is if you're ever going to decide to do a food sensitivity test and you're suspicious that that you're sensitive to something, eat that food before you do the test. It looks for antibodies. So, and that's something I didn't do, but that's okay. Now, I'll be interested if it says gluten. I don't think it's gonna because I've been avoiding it for 11 or 12 years. So it shouldn't come up because I shouldn't have antibodies to it because I haven't eaten it. If I wanted to really test for that, I should have eaten it, but I'm not going to do that to my body because I already know I have an issue. So it says there are no high reactivity foods, which I would have assumed that. There's nothing that I eat that makes me, throw up, pass out, anything like that. Now remember also, this is not an allergy test. This is a food sensitivity test. Those are two different things. So, and then it says moderate reactivity. Well, I didn't show it. That doesn't surprise me because, like I said, I don't have any huge symptoms. I just have some underlying issues. So I'm not shocked by that. But I do have some mild reactivity to 14 foods. So I find this interesting. Let's go see what they are. This says mild reactivity foods, class 1 foods. It says create a smaller immune reaction, but they can be sneaky symptom causers. That's exactly what I'm talking about because I have had some immune reactions. So let's check it out. All right, let's look at what it says about chicken. Where are we? Okay, I'm learning how to read this. All right. Foods with mild reactivity are blue. So, okay, believe it or not, I have mild reactivity to chicken. And I'm surprised it picked that up because I know I hadn't had any in a while. So I'm actually surprised it picked that up. So I'm going to have to pay attention to that. That's really good to know. All right. Well, I guess I'm clicking on all of these. Baker's yeast. I don't even know when I could have even have had that. But good to know. I mean, I don't really eat things, well, if they're gluten-free, I might have something baked. So maybe I need to watch out for that. Bell pepper, had no idea. So that's good to know. I will avoid those. Chicken, we know. Curry, oh man. Okay, this is really good to know because I actually do use curry sometimes in my cooking, so that's interesting. I've always known that I'm sensitive to eggs. Matter of fact, I'm surprised this isn't up in here, but I avoid them, so that's probably why it's not up in here, or even high reactivity. I'm very sensitive to them. I avoid them. That's why it's only mild, I'm sure. Figs, really? Okay, I'm surprised. Don't think I eat a lot of figs, but I'll make sure that I don't. Garlic, are you kidding? That's crazy. Garlic is so good for you. I do have it in my diet. I love hummus. It says hidden sources, hummus. Yeah, of course. So I'm going to have to pay attention to that. Oregano. I love oregano, you guys. Why am I sensitive to oregano? That is so sad to me. It's a delicious herb. So I'm going to have to watch out. Pine nuts. I love pine nuts. And oh my gosh, and pesto. I just had some the other day. Can you believe it? So that's sad. Salmon I never eat, so it's fine that I'm mildly reactive to it. No loss there. Let's see what else. Tuna. Oh darn it. I do like tuna sometimes. So I guess that's going to be the end of my tuna eating. Oh no. Hidden sources in Japanese miso. Well, I do have miso because it's good for me. I'll just have to make sure that's not in there. And I can find it without that in there. That's no problem at all. It's in omega-3 supplements. I take vegan ones, so that's not a problem. Vanilla. Are you kidding me right now? Who doesn't love vanilla? I love vanilla. This is a problem. Okay, but I'm going to have to watch out. And then white mushrooms. Are you kidding me? I love mushrooms. Okay. Well, friends, that's wild. There we go. I'm going to have to make some changes. The rest of the foods tested in the normal range, and I think I got tested for over 200 foods. So all in all, I think I did pretty good. I just kind kind of wanted to show you what came up, and I'm shocked actually about what came up in here. So friends, thanks for watching. See you soon.